And everything out there is either mirroring what we are holding within our own individual frequency, beliefs, wounds, traumas, anything uncleared, or the collective. So what I share and what I teach is the most simple process that I've ever found to do inner healing, dismantling the belief system. Because in reality, in honesty, and this may trigger some people's egos, and if it does, just look at it, notice it, and observe. Because the belief system is actually a tiny, tiny prison.
Hello, everyone. This is Kathy Mason from MasonWorks Marketing here on For Soul Illumination with my friend Jeff Cloud. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, thank you so much for having me back. It's always a pleasure.
Well, I love what you do, and I'm so excited to get your inspiration about these changing times and how we can help more people as we go through the wave of change without fear and in a creative, positive way. And I think your work could really help a lot of people do that. So for the people that don't know you, Jeff's a transformational guide and mentor, and he has studied with Don Miguel Ruiz, who I also got to work with a little bit years ago, who has Toltec knowledge that really changes your perspective about this reality and your place in it. And Jeff studied with Don Miguel Ruiz for years, and then put his work into very usable framework with his book, Waking Up in the Dream, and his workshops. So Jeff, do you want to tell us a little bit about your journey with all of that so you can explain how you got so enlightened so early compared to the rest of us?
I don't know if I'm enlightened, but thank you for the kind introduction. I'm not going to do a full background because we have limited time today, but basically from a very early age, I questioned everything. And it got me into trouble, but it also got me where I am today, because if anybody's paying attention right now, and everything out there is either mirroring what we are holding within our own individual frequency, beliefs, wounds, traumas, anything uncleared, or the collective. So what I share and what I teach is the most simple process that I've ever found to do inner healing, dismantling the belief system. Because in reality, in honesty, and this may trigger some people's egos, and if it does, just look at it, notice it, and observe. Because the belief system is actually a tiny, tiny prison. Every single one of our beliefs came from sources outside of ourselves. But the ego, which wants to remain in its false sense of control, gets triggered until we teach it and train it. If anything challenges the very limiting belief system or touches on an uncleared or unhealed childhood wound or trauma, there's what? An automatic reaction. And that automatic reaction creates an emotional hit in the body, and it tricks us into believing that we're right. We're not right, we're triggered. And when you can finally begin to see that and catch the triggers, begin to catch every judgment, every less than thought, every shameful thought, every lack of love. And I teach a process in the book, exactly step by step by step how to do it. And it comes with a daily tracking sheet that takes 5 minutes to fill out every evening. And what happens is we cannot clear a program unless we can see it. This process allows you to see it And once you see it, it begins to become dissolved very, very quickly. So what I'd like to speak about today is there's kind of a new term in the last several years called timelines. And many people, I'm sure people that watch your show are aware of this. And there's a separation of timelines right now where we have a choice to begin to, instead of reacting to the external in these very limiting beliefs. I'm not saying everybody out there has limiting beliefs. There's people that I'm sure know a lot more than I do, because one of my statements is, I know nothing. That keeps me out of the ego. And I do know that love is the answer. And I do know how, and I teach how to program the subconscious mind with the exact instructions. And so this is my passion in sharing this stuff, because it changes people's lives very quickly. So when we talk about timelines, we're noticing that there's a separation here between people that appear to just be following along with the television and the media and, you know, the things they're putting into their body through persuasion and fear-based stuff. And then you've got the other people that are saying, nope, I came here this time to be a part of creating the New Earth timelines. And so in order to do that, we must become and teach ourselves, and it doesn't take that long, to become the calm, conscious, neutral observer, as opposed to being an automatic reactor.
Okay.
And so
I have
any
a question
questions?
real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how would you say that this is different than being non-dual? Because the non-dual theory or philosophy is that there is no good or bad, there just is. So when you're seeing that you're triggered, are you going to that non-dual space of neutrality or 0 point or whatever verbiage you want to use? I mean, there's all these names, the same thing. Are you using that, or are you looking at it as actually a gift to see, there you are, old friend. I still have more work to do.
Great question. One of the things that is taught in the book, in the course, and if I do one-on-ones with people, is every time you have a trigger, in the process of going through this every day, super simple, even children can do it. I have clients that have 10 and 12-year-olds, and they actually move through it quicker because they're curious and they don't have decades and decades of programming. So like, Mom, you need to catch that one and write it down. So anytime we become triggered or we have a judgment, which is actually the biggest addiction on the planet by far, judgment is, we catch it because we can feel it in our body. In doing this process for 30 days, you'll see this is fast. And so I have a mantra that I share with people, which is every time you get triggered by something out there, you ask yourself this question: what is this trying to teach me about me? And anytime there is something that we don't like, or something that seems hard, difficult, challenging, horrific, we ask ourselves, what is the gift that this is showing me? Because if we have resistance to it, because we are walking, talking, vibrating magnets, what we will actually do is attract more of that into our field, because like frequency attracts like frequency. So the key is to become 100% neutral, where, like you said, and this can be a challenging one for people, there's nothing good or bad. Well, I see kids being harmed, abused, I mean, horrific things. And I have such a big heart. I'm an empath, and I work with a lot of animals here in Thailand as well on a daily basis. And it can be painful. However, I invite people to understand, or at least be open to the possibility or the fact that every single person or animal has chosen their soul contract this time. Even the people that are dying and getting like killed intentionally and poisoned. And I mean, yeah, I mean, you would have to be really closed off to not let that affect your feelings, because compassion is one of our greatest gifts and strengths. And so this is really about understanding that we are creating our reality. And I invite everybody to unplug from the external illusion out there and really come back to, okay, I'm going to investigate this, what this guy or what other people say about going within, doing inner healing. Do I have anything to clear or forgive about myself? Do I have any shame, guilt, anger, resentment? And do I have anyone yet to forgive completely? And if you really want to step into mastery, not only forgive somebody, because I hear people, and including myself, Jeff, I have forgiven people, and then I'm lying in bed 2 weeks later, and I think about that person, and it comes up again about the money I loaned them that they never paid me back, or what they did to me. And I'm just like, okay, that it's a little frustrating, but here's another piece to clear. Because if we have not forgiven somebody, again, the universe, our higher selves or whatever, is going to send us another lesson. We may get that lesson in a week. We may get it in a couple months, or that same opportunity to clear it might not come up for 5 or 10 years. If it's something deep like a relationship or something. So when we can get to the point where we not only forgive somebody, but we go next level and we thank them. Why do we thank them? Because we chose all of these events as part of our agreed upon, keyword, agreed upon soul contract before we came down here. So everybody that's ever we think has done anything to us, and again, keep in mind, this is all happening inside our head. There is really no out there, although it seems to be a very real illusion. I mean, I'm petting dogs, I'm rubbing them on the belly, I'm hugging people, I can feel things that feel real, and it feels very real. But our power lies in going, okay, I'm creating all of this, and I'm going to be open to what this person or what these other teachers or mirrors might say, that I created everything that happened to me. Why would I have done that? Because I remember saying hundreds of times when I was going through my pain and my suffering and my self-unworthiness and even self-hatred, I was like, I would have never chosen to come down here and go through all this pain and suffering.
Right.
And my ego, Larry, and I invite everybody as part of the book or the course or whatever to name your ego. You can always change the name at any time, but I named him Larry so I can see when Larry's doing what he's doing. And Larry, like in a cartoon, you've got like the devil over here and the angel over here. Well, I've simply taught Larry that it's much more fun and he can still be active if he comes over here and we stop judging, we stop automatically reacting, and we begin to create together. Because there was a time when I was like, I can't wait to kill the ego. We can't kill the ego. It's part of this structure of us being in a human body, and it's not all bad. But if you name your ego, you can make friends with it. You can see what it's doing, how it's reacting, and you can really accelerate the clearing process of these old wounds, limiting beliefs, triggers, doubts, fears, and it'll really accelerate the process. So,
That's
you have any
great.
other questions?
Oh, that's great. What about forgiving yourself? Because if there really is only one being here and you're projecting out these other scenarios, isn't it about self-forgiveness?
It's all about self, and everything else in our perceived reality, whether you want to call it an illusion or real, is mirroring back to us whatever lessons we chose to come down here and experience,
Right.
or what we chose to come and contribute to these newer, higher frequencies in the creation of these higher New Earth timelines. A lot of people refer to them as 5D and beyond. I don't know what the Ds are. I think we're going up and down from 3D to 5D. I know I do. I can still get triggered by my computer. I can still get triggered by mosquitoes.
Well, it seems like the waves aren't as deep as they used to be. It seems like they're more evened out. So it's like you can self-correct faster than going through a big turmoil. But the other thing I wanted to add to what you're saying is that it seems that in hindsight, you always see the blessing of what happened to you. At the time, you don't. But when you've had time to perceive it from a distance, it always is like, oh, thank goodness that relationship didn't work, or oh, thank goodness that business deal didn't work, or oh, I'm so glad my car broke down. I mean, all of those things that when they happen are put you in maybe a tailspin, or make you take a left when you thought you were taking a right. But in hindsight, which is hard to have at the time, you're suggesting that we breathe it through and maybe look at it at the time, right?
Immediately.
Okay.
Because
do you want to
here's the
talk
thing.
about that? Because that's how. Okay, so let's say I just get a phone call. It's a lawyer, and I'm scared of lawyers.
I'm not even going to go into maritime law and all the inversions of
Okay,
that,
well,
but I'm
I
with you.
never have done real well with them. Anyway, so could you give me a scenario of what your process would be for that?
Sure. And thank you for bringing this up, because I'm all about the shortest way to clear, heal, raise our vibration, and begin to program our subconscious. And I'll talk about that in a little bit, to manifest things without waiting into the future. Some things may take some time. There is no such thing as time, but everything's slowed down here right now, because if everything happened at once, I don't think we'd be able to handle it. So it's very important to understand that feeling is important. So your lawyer just called. Let's just sum this up as we receive some bad news, or something that we don't like, or something that triggers us, or something that lowers our vibration, or something that puts us in fear. This process that I share with people teaches you. You do this for 2 weeks or 30 days, and you do it and fill out this sheet at night. You're gonna see how much time this saves you. Because when I used to be triggered, before I cleared a lot of stuff, and I'm still clearing things, so I'm not putting myself above anybody, but these tools changed everything in my reality, the way I see everything, and the way I manifest everything, and the way that I hold myself accountable, and the way that I have compassion for everybody now. I never let anybody physically abuse me or verbally abuse me, but I can see the program and the wound that they're running. So they're in pain. So I can hold a frequency of observation and neutrality and mirror them if they're open. A lot of people, their victim story has worked for them for so long. And I know this one because I did it, because I wasn't taught how to clear it. They don't teach you this stuff in school. They don't want you to know, because they're feeding off of all this collective energy. So the process is, as soon as you have even a judgment, which I would call a low-level trigger, versus a fear or a huge trigger, you receive bad news, you teach yourself to feel it in your body. And instead of automatically reacting, you go, okay, I'm not going to stuff my feelings down, because that could create disease. I'm going to feel it. Jeff may even get pissed off. I don't do it with other people, But I may sit here in my place in Thailand and go, and then I go, okay, what is the gift that this is trying to teach me? Now, what this does is this allows Jeff to be 100% accountable for everything that's showing up in my reality. And instead of projecting that somebody did this, or I don't like this, or the who, or whatever, I don't have to like that stuff. But I go, okay, I know that I came here to help clear this stuff. And I can see that it's being cleared through social media, the people that are coming into my life, the people that are purchasing the book or coming in to work with me one-on-one. I can see that my practicing being in neutrality and using these tools of what is this trying to show me or teach me about me, and then having the what I would call elevated awareness through practice to thank the thing, whether it's a person or a situation. And Larry will be going, I don't want to thank this. I'm not happy at all right now. This just cost me $500, or somebody just borrowed money and now they're not paying me back. They're not answering my phone calls, or whatever it is. I don't like that. I'm not going to hold that within. I'm going to use these tools to clear it as quick as possible, because if I don't, then my internal magnet is holding that frequency, and I'm going to more than likely attract another timeline. Think of all these dots as timelines. It's going to come in, because that's how this elevation and the raising our consciousness and healing process works. We don't have to like it, but we can shorten it really quickly by going, okay, I'm triggered. What is the gift here? What is this attempting to show me and teach me about me? And now you can shorten, instead of talking about things for days and posting it on show. Yeah, this person just did this to me. And I see it all the time. And I'm like, God bless this person. They don't know how to clear it because nobody taught them how. So if they're open, I may once in a while give them an invitation in a comment. And some people are like, oh my God, thank you so much. And other people are like, I'm blocking you because you just triggered me even further. And I'm not, my body is used to being a victim and talking about it in that way. That feels normal and natural to me. And since nobody showed me another way, that's the only way that I know. And so I'm in resistance if somebody comes in and wants me to reprogram myself, and they can't see that it will help them because they're so blocked by the energy that they're holding in their body of the trigger.
Right. Well,
So
somehow there's some payoff to having that story. And until there isn't a payoff, there isn't some benefit to them, then they can't. It's a lot of times it's hard. It's addicting. It's hard. It's like nicotine or caffeine or alcohol, right?
It can be. And until we figure out and understand that it's just going to keep coming back over and over and over until we clear it, heal it, or replace a belief or a trigger with, wow, I may not have liked that, but what a gift. Now I can clear that, thank it, and it doesn't need to come back again.
Yeah, it's
so you
amazing.
can really begin to move through decades. I journey with people that have been around 60, 70, 80 years. And I always use the word young. I never use the word OLD. Why? Because our trillions of cells are consciously aware, and they're listening to every thought, every word, every belief, and our imagination. And then the frequency with what we hit it with, whether it's just a little judgment, she's fat, he's old, whatever, I don't like this, I don't like that. It's going into the subconscious. So the subconscious creates more of that in our reality. And when you begin to figure this out, you begin to clear decades of stuff like real fast.
Isn't it cool? It's so cool. And the idea of everyone being able to do this with your tools and with your book is really very, very important to know right now, because what we're seeing is that we're in a time of change, and without being in a creative mindset, creative problem solving mindset, where you're free to be creative. If you're totally being bombarded, which everyone is, if they're watching any outside media at all, even on my computer, my little bar at the bottom, I don't watch TV or anything, but the bottom of my bar of my Windows machine tells me every tragedy that's coming up. I mean,
Oh, wow.
For sensitives, the global consciousness is in a chaotic upheaval. And it's because the patterns that our societies have created, whether it's male, female role playing, family role playing, culture role playing, what position in your family, which number child you are, all of that stuff, it's all not serving us anymore. And as you said, going inside and seeing where the soul is, where your divine light is, where you can rekindle your genius, basically. I think this is our way to the next world. I really think once you go into that still, quiet place, that's where all the answers are. And the other is just noise. It's just background noise, right?
This is such another beautiful point that you bring up. So thank you. So I've been exposing things that other people couldn't see for probably coming up on 25 or 30 years. I'm not going to talk about what they are right now because this is going to go on my YouTube channel, and YouTube is going back and deleting things from 6 months ago if I brought up anything about the children or stuff. So, but here's the deal. I was exposing things because other people were afraid to share it because they were being called theorists and things like this. Everything I've ever shared in the past 25 years has turned out to be 100% true. I do my research and I don't just trust or believe anything. And the same with theories and things. Unless I can prove it 100%, it has no effect in my reality because it's just an assumption. So when you really streamline things down and go within, everything becomes simpler. Now, I will say that it was challenging for me to stop exposing things because I had all these people reach out to me and go, thank you so much for sharing that. Everybody in my family's asleep. Nobody in my town is awake. I'm the only one. I can't talk to anybody about this stuff. They think I'm crazy. So my belief and my experience was I must keep exposing this stuff to wake up other people. Now I'm teaching 100% neutrality. It's perfectly playing its role. And I know this can be a tough one for people, but I'm telling you, this will change everything in your reality. And when we go within and we consciously create our day every single morning, which is another process that's taught in the book and course, it's like I wake up and while my head's still on the pillow, before those 50 to 80,000 thoughts start running, I got to get up, I got to put on a pot of coffee, I got to get the kids ready for school, I got to check all that's going to get done. So I stop before all that stuff starts running and I consciously create my reality and I give my subconscious the exact instructions. And it goes something like this. I love on every one of my trillions of cells and I thank them for loving me since I was in the womb through all the abuse that I've given it, through shameful thoughts, drugs, alcohol, beating myself up, being hard on myself, which is one of the patterns that I'm still clearing from when my uncle used to really hammer on me hard and tell me I was never going to amount to anything and da-da-da-da-da. My uncle, because my dad passed away when I was in the first grade, but that was all part of my soul contract. But at the time I didn't know that, so it was hugely traumatic. So I love on every one of these cells that serve me, and then I create my reality. Like miracles and synchronicities show up in my reality every single day. And notice I'm smiling, my frequency is going up. I'm owning this because I'm creating it and I know that it works. The perfect clients, the perfect friends, the perfect animals, the perfect abundance, the perfect opportunities to serve, the perfect opportunities to learn and grow. I'm activating my DNA in every moment. My conscious awareness is accelerating day by day, and everything just shows up like magic and miracles in my reality. Not in the future. It's already happening now. Whenever you program the subconscious, you program it for things to be, they're already here now. And in the beginning, Larry or the ego might go, you're just saying that because you read that somewhere. Your stuff's not here yet. And I go, okay, Larry, you can go sit in the corner right now. Thank you for your input. But I understand how to create my reality and how to give my subconscious the perfect instructions. And you can only let the subconscious know that it's already here now with the excitement of a little child on his birthday or on Christmas Day. And so before we have to go, I want to talk about spell words, because if you get this, and you will, because it's super, super simple. And if you're open-minded, I have a PDF that I created around the 9 most used spell words that people that I speak to, 99.9% of them are all using these spell words over and over and over, even if they're super awake and, elevated. So I'm going to rattle them off. And then if anybody would like this PDF that I created and the statements to use in replace of the spell words, send me a private message with your email and I will deliver this to your inbox. So the 9 most common spell words that stop your manifestations from coming into your reality are want, wish, hope, need, try, should, going to, hard, and difficult. Want, wish, hope, need, try, should, going to, hard, and difficult. And listen to people and listen to yourself and start substituting these words. Like, let's take a word like want. I really want more money in my income. I really want to become a coach. I really want my soul. No, the subconscious registers that as it's still not here yet. So that's what it creates in your reality. So we begin replacing these words with I intend, I have. I'm so grateful that I've attracted my soulmate or enough abundance to do what I love, to live a wonderfully freedom lifestyle, and then to contribute to other people that don't have that much. And so this is really key. It's one of the simplest things that I share in the book and the course. And you can eliminate these words. Like, I get on a call with people, and after I teach them that, they'll catch it right away. They might not catch it every time, but they'll go, oh, I mean, I intend. And so you can dismantle 6, 7, 8 decades. Some people might not be that young, but you can begin to do it immediately. So if anybody would like this, it's in the book. If you don't have it, and the book is half price right now on my website, portal2awakening.com. Maybe you can pop up my website.
Yeah, I'll
if
do
you
that.
have it there.
Yeah, I'll be glad to do that right now.
But if you'd like this PDF that I put together that's crystal clear, send me a message into my inbox. And even if we're not friends on Facebook, I check my spam folder every day because I get messages from people that have seen my YouTube channel or something. And thank you. There it is. Yeah, so it's portal2awakening.com. There's information on the book. There's information on the digital online course, which is a lifetime membership. It's cheap. They're both half price right now. And then here's some testimonials from people if you want to check them out. And I'm really proud of this. It took me a long time to get here. I was an automatic reactor for many, many years. And
well, this is what I'm just loving this, because people are looking for solutions, and many people have spent I don't know, $100,000 on,
That's me.
yep, in personal development work. And the movement that's available with your work, the rapid transformation is quite remarkable. It's permanent. And that's the other thing, is that we're coming to a time where the more people do their work, the better. What you were talking about before about community, I think we've all started finding each other this past 4 years with the lockdown and everything. People found people from all over the world. And before, I used to say we're all different hybrids of different alien life forms. I still believe that. But the frequency of love and the frequency opportunity to connect is really apparent now, I think. And so I just invite people to go to your website, which is portal2ascension.com.
Portal to awakening.
Awakening. Sorry, I did it again.
It's okay.
I've done that before.
Well, we spoke earlier. I'm creating what will be my most powerful community group opportunity, which is called the Ascension Academy.
Yeah.
And I'm finalizing the details for that right now. So this is really for anybody, but if you truly would like to lead and you understand that this stuff is calling out to you and you're having more and more insights every day and downloads, and you're really seeing the programs, I'm going to open it up to the first 10 people for starters, and then we're going to see where it goes from there. But anybody that's really ready to fast track, because what I do is I describe it as rapid subconscious repatterning. Perfect. And it is permanent. You might still have a less than thought or something, because it can happen, but you will catch it so quickly, it won't go on for minutes or hours or days anymore. It'll just be like, okay, here's a gift, even though that just triggered me and I'm not super happy about it. And then you'll immediately cut down the time. You'll just start like a Ginsu chef, just slicing and dicing this stuff. And I wouldn't have said this a few years ago because I would have thought it was my ego, but I'm very proud of this course. And after all the courses I've taken in 3-day workshops in Sedona and Los Angeles and San Diego, and I've never found anything quicker, because the 3 pieces are there and you can't skip them. Got to do the inner healing. Some people don't like that word, but just understand that you chose this. And the people that I journey with, the people that chose the most difficult things, go on to be some of the greatest teachers, because unless you've experienced that, you can talk about what you've read, but having the experience of it, you have it in your heart and your frequency. And when you speak to people, they really understand that you're not just quoting somebody else or something else. So the inner healing is key. You can't skip it. And then dismantling the belief system and seeing what it is. Again, none of our beliefs are our own. And the only reason we're holding on to a belief, you can believe that love is the answer. I kept that one. And I kept one other belief, which is, I believe, and now I know, that I am 100% unlimited, and that I am a divine sovereign being. And I will never submit to anything that tries to lower that. I will never submit to any chips into my brain or anything else against my will. And I declare that. And I don't have to fight it. And I don't have to, be afraid of that. I just go, nope, I do not consent to that.
Well, I want to share, because we're going to need to wrap up pretty soon. But I think what this allows you to do is it allows you to be really focused on whatever you choose. The common lifestyle now is so scattered, and so many different chaotic things are in your field. And when you do this kind of work where you get to choose to go straight into your heart, work with your soul, find your genius, find your delight, really, because that's really the key to a lot of this. And keep focusing when you have a new practice, basically, is what you're talking about, is that instead of the old practice, which really doesn't lead you to happiness and joy and peace, pick this practice, which you can see is going to light up your capabilities. It's a total empowerment path. And that's what I would just want to encourage people that are coming to this point in their life where they know they chose to come here. They're wondering about it, maybe, but they did choose to come here, and it's time. You can feel it in your bones. It is time, right, Jeff?
Thank you so much. And one of my favorite words is excitement.
Yep.
Because it's the highest vibration. It actually gives me goosebumps. So if you can get excited, here, I'm going to give people 3 invitations. The first invitation is, if this resonates with you, send me a private message with your email, and I'll send you the PDF to eliminate the spell words. That's going to change your life starting today. And I don't believe in the terms hard work and struggle. Those are programs. Okay? Now you may have been taught, well, I've gotten everything I've ever got in my life because of hard work. Well, that's great. I don't work hard anymore. I give the proper instructions to my subconscious. I've dismantled my belief system prison completely. And now I allow all these other things that are so far outside my belief system to come into my reality. And I get excited about it. Here's the truth about the belief system. Our beliefs, even if you're super smart and got all these degrees, which to me are, well, to me, they're meaningless. I understand the Rockefeller training, and I've been to enough doctors that were not in tune with anything. You can see what's going on with the medical system, and they're pushing anything instead of well, we've got a bunch that are standing up. But our beliefs wouldn't even fit on the head of a pin. Take that in. Compared to everything that's out there. So why would you want to operate in a little tiny prison? I show you how to do it. And if you fill out this sheet, this comes with the book. It's a PDF download. You can download. There's actually 2 pages. You spend time filling this out every day for 30 days. And if it doesn't change your life, send me a message and I will get on a call with you. Okay? But you must be willing to look at your stuff and be very curious. The third invitation is, I'm creating the Ascension Academy. And if you're interested in that, send me a private message. I haven't finalized the details, but if what I share with you here really hits home, I'm telling you, I don't know of anything more powerful, because I'm all about the shortest way. I'm not knocking any other courses out there. I'm not putting myself above anybody, but I've spent years refining this course to where if you truly are ready to just accelerate your conscious awareness and your ability to manifest your reality, I invite you to look into this. And the last invitation I'm going to invite people, I invite you to unplug from 3D. Do you think you can do that? Because that's an important question to sit with for a couple seconds here. Do you think that your world's going to collapse if you're not? And I'm inviting Jeff to do this. Everything I share is really for Jeff. And if anybody else gets anything out of it, that's great. But I'm talking to Jeff right now in my higher self. The invitation to unplug from 3D, from the media, and from, I've even got a Telegram channel where I've been sharing the things that got me in trouble on Facebook. I'm shifting all of that to neutrality, and I'm going to start shifting my whole Telegram channel to all these tools that I share that are part of the Waking Up in the Dream transformational experience. And I didn't think that I could unplug from 3D because I thought part of my role was to expose things. Well, right now, you can see that something's not right on the farm. And you can do research, and you're either in denial or you're hungry, and you know that you came here and you're resonating with these messages from like-minded people. And so I don't need to do that anymore. So what that does is it frees me up. And now I can even elevate my frequency and spend more time giving my subconscious from moment to moment, hour to hour. There's times when I'm out every day, like I'll go out after this broadcast. It's my morning here in Thailand, and I'll go feed and give medicine to the wild jungle dogs and talk to the wild buffaloes, water buffaloes. They're huge. They're like almost as big as elephants, and they go in the water all the way up to their necks because it's so hot here. And they have their little babies, and they're super curious, and it's wonderful. So I'll go out and I'll be in nature. So I may not be focusing on programming the subconscious in every moment, but the people that go through the course, they set alarms on their phone to go off every hour. And even if you have a JOB or whatever, you can set it on vibrate. But then later on, a few hours later, there'll be that message. Hey, where are you right now? Are you in the future? Are you in the past? Are you programming your subconscious? Are you catching the automatics, the judgments, the triggers? And so it's life-changing. And I'll leave you with one last thing. The website is portal2awakening.com. My Facebook page is Facebook.com/Jeff9Cloud, without the number sign, but Jeff9Cloud. And then my YouTube channel, where there's a lot of hours where I take people through this step by step by step. It's free. That's youtube.com/portal2awakening, just like my website.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I highly recommend this work. And I think that Jeff is a tremendous resource for you if you're ready. This is an opportunity that you really shouldn't miss. So
thank you
thank
so
you,
much.
Jeff.
Thank you for having me back again. I love and appreciate you. And I'm so glad that we connected on this platform.
Yes.
And if anybody has any questions about the course, the Ascension Academy, or private journeys with me, mentorships, drop me a message in my inbox. I'll be happy to get on a free, no obligation call, because I've learned if you're not in 100%, I don't want to have to pull you uphill. So you may not be ready, but you still may be curious. If I can help you out, reach out.
Right. So I totally get that. Okay, thank you, everybody. Please share this and subscribe if you are enjoying these talks. There's lots of good stuff here and great resources for you. So please subscribe and share this. And thank you, Jeff, again. Love you. And
love you too. You're a rock star.
Yeah, you too. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, have a great evening.